If you look at one star in the sky, it's not there right now. It was there several million, sometimes billions of years ago. It took that long for the light to get here, but it's not there anymore. It may have been dead. By the time we see the star may have already exploded. It may not even be there. We're looking at billions of years of history when we look at the stars. In other words, a situation is occurring which under any other circumstance would be immediate death, and Allah, despite us physically not being capable of withstanding what is happening, is going to keep us on life support. He's going to keep us alive, keep us standing, keep us staring. Just for that purpose.
This video is taken from our deeper look of Surah Al-Mursalat, releasing now every Monday at 10 AM UK time. Watch the full deeper look of Surah Al-Mursalat and more exclusively on Bayyinah TV.
We saw Wal-Mursalat is similar to other surahs. What surahs? Was-Saffat, Wal-Adiyat, Wal-Dhariyat, right? We saw other surahs that have similar styles. This part of the surah, فَإِذَا النُّجُومُ طُمِسَتْ وَإِذَا السَّمَاءُ فُرِجَتْ وَإِذَا الْجِبَالُ نُسِفَتْ وَإِذَا الرُّسُلُ أُقِتَتْ is also similar to several other surahs like وَإِذَا الشَّمْسُ كُوِّرَتْ وَإِذَا النُّجُومُ انْكَدَرَتْ Surah Al-Takwir. Later on in Surah Al-Takwir, إِذَا الصُّحُفُ نُشِرَتْ إِذَا السَّمَاءُ كُشِطَتْ, and then similarly إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انْفَطَرَتْ إِذَا الْكَوَاكِبُ انْتَثَرَتْ وَإِذَا الْبِحَارُ فُجِّرَتْ وَإِذَا الْقُبُورُ بُعْثِرَتْ. Also إِذَا السَّمَاءُ انشَقَّتْ وَأَذِنَتْ لِرَبِّهَا وَحُقَّتْ وَإِذَا الْأَرْضُ مُدَّتْ وَأَلْقَتْ مَا فِيهَا وَتَخَلَّتْ. So now this surah is borrowing the style from other surahs in the opening, and then the next part is also borrowing from other surahs that have similar styles. It's a combination of different styles in one surah, right? In the opening. It's pretty cool. Now, let's dig into what's going on here with the language. The first thing for grammar students, this will be interesting for you. Ida in Arabic is considered a dharf, a word for time and time. And it is considered a mudaf. If you don't know what a mudaf is, go make wudu. No, I'm kidding. Mudaf is a grammar thing. Anyway, ida is a mudaf and it expects a fi'l. It expects a verb immediately after it. So like إِذَا جَاءَ نَصْرُ اللَّهِ وَالْفَتْحِ إِذَا زُلْزِلَتِ الْأَرْضُ زِلْزَالَهَا. Okay, so you have إِذَا, and then after إِذَا you expect a verb, a fi'l. But if you look at the surah and these ayat, you don't see a fi'l. You don't see فَإِذَا طُمِسَتِ النُّجُومُ. What do you see? إِذَا النُّجُومُ طُمِسَت. So this breaks the expectation of the Arab ear, because the Arab ear wants to hear after ida a verb, but now it's hearing a noun. Now here's the problem. The problem is there is a verb. Where's the verb? After. But if it's after, the challenge in Arabic is if you mention an-nujum first, then an-nujum cannot be the fa'il of tumisat, because the fa'il has to come afterwards. It cannot come before. So if you say, well, ida is playing a role with tumisat, you cannot use tumisat because nujum is before it. Because then you say, what's the fa'il of tumisat? It's nujum, but it's not nujum because nujum is before. And the way the Arabs understood this, please take my mouse somewhere I can't hear him. Because then I want to stop lecturing and go play with him. Okay, so the way the Arab mind understood this is, what you're saying is, listen carefully, إِذَا طُمِسَتِ النُّجُومُ طُمِسَتْ. إِذَا طُمِسَتْ النُّجُومُ طُمِسَتْ. When the stars are smudged, I tell you. 2 times. وَإِذَا السَّمَاءُ فُرِجَتْ. When the sky is torn open. Automatically the Arab ear back in the day would understand this was said twice. This wasn't said once. It's said, there's an echo. That and that again. Twice. So إِذَا طُمِسَتِ النُّجُومُ طُمِسَت is the i'rab actually of this. There's a fi'il mahdhuf and that's طُمِسَت. And then it's being repeated. The second one is not compensated for by the first one. Okay? So now I won't go too deep into the word najm. It's just simply we can use the meaning of the word stars here. But we should look into طُمِسَت. طَمَسْتُ الْأَثَرْ وَالطَّرِيقِ. When you walk if you walk on a place that's not like concrete, right? And there's grass, and you keep walking on it, it becomes a path, right? But imagine people stopped using it for a while. What happens to the grass? It comes back. And now you can't tell where the path was, right? When it loses its original markings and you can't tell where it was anymore, or the dirt came and sand came and covered it up and all that stuff, then that place has experienced tamas. This is why tamasa is used for darasa. Darasa also to smudge or to wipe clean. Wamha atharahu. So to remove the effect of something. طمس النجم والقمر ذهب ضوءه. Najm wal qamar, when the moon and the star and the moon are experiencing tamas, when their light is getting smudged. When you look at something, look at the stars through a dirty glass or something, and your view gets smudged, or if your windshield isn't clean and you're looking at the traffic light and it looks smudged, your view is matmus. So al-matmus al-a'ma alladhi la yabinu harfu jafni aynihi fala yura shufra aynayhi. When a person goes blind and you can't see their pupils, it's all white. Their eye got smudged. They're called matmus. إذا النجوم طمست, when the stars start losing their light, the stars start getting smudged. It's as if the stars are getting erased. I can't help myself. I'll tell you this now. I was going to tell you later, but I'm going to tell you now. When we look at the stars, we're looking at something that was there millions, sometimes billions of years ago. The stars you see in the sky, if you look at one star in the sky, it's not there right now. It was there several million, sometimes billions of years ago. It took that long for the light to get here, but it's not there anymore. It may have been dead. By the time we see the star may have already exploded. It may not even be there. We're looking at billions of years of history when we look at the stars. Now, that's where the star was. Its place was. Allah didn't say, I swear by the stars. He said in another surah, فَلَا أُقْسِمُ بِي مَوَاقِعِ النُّجُومِ, as if to say, where the stars fell. Meaning you're seeing where they were, not where they are. Right? Now, Allah describes Judgment Day, the stars will be smudged. How far is the star from us? How long does the light take to get here? Millions of years. So if I'm using modern day physics, and I say that star gets smudged today, how long before I will find out? It's going to take a few billion years before I find out that star got smudged. But Judgment Day will come, and the stars will be what? Smudged. Now let's visualize this. Some stars are closer to us. Others are further, and then there's the ones that are the furthest away. The ones that are the furthest away, if they get smudged, it would take the longest for us to find out, yes? Unless the furthest stars, as soon as they were created, Allah started destroying them. But we don't even know. The furthest row of stars, the furthest saf, started getting destroyed. And then the next saf started getting destroyed. And the next saf started getting destroyed. And the next saf, and the next saf, and the next saf, and the next. And every row of stars, as we get closer and closer to what? Earth, us, has already been destroyed. The bombs are already falling. The galaxies are already exploding. The black holes are already being created. We're chilling. Like, that's a nice day. That's nice. And the dominoes are falling, getting closer and closer and closer until Judgment Day comes and we see the closest stars to us also, and the furthest stars also, all smudged. All of it comes together. You remember I was telling you there's bandits and raiders coming and you're just chilling? Angels are coming and you're just chilling. The winds are coming and you don't have no idea. It may be that the universe, the destruction of the universe in preparation for Judgment Day has already begun, but the destruction is a bit far from us right now, so we don't realize it. But the process has already started. And it's well on its way. And it's making immediate progression continuously until the time where we, with our weak eyes, get to see it. إِذَا النُّجُومُ طُمِسَتْ. Now here's the part that physics doesn't work with. So we don't exactly know how this is going to play out. But If the sun, because there's all these nuclear explosions happening on the surface of the sun and inside the sun. If the sun had too big of an explosion, so big that it moved it a little bit, 1 inch over, we'd all be dead. There's no life left. But it's not just the sun. All the galaxies of the universe, all the stars, including the sun, are about to be smudged. Theoretically, what should happen to all of us? We should immediately be dead. But Allah is keeping all of us alive to watch. This is like, in other words, a situation is occurring which under any other circumstance would be immediate death. And Allah, despite us physically not being capable of withstanding what is happening, is going to keep us on life support. He's going to keep us alive, keep us standing, keep us staring. Just for that purpose. Is breaking the laws of biology for that we have been functioning on all this time as soon as Judgment Day begins. إِذَا النُّجُومُ طُمِسَتْ. When the stars, and kind of the domino effect of the stars being destroyed is also in the repetition of the verb, isn't it? And then when these stars, now we know a little bit more about the universe and the destruction of stars and how they create almost like a vacuum. And, when a supernova happens, right? And they start kind of tearing through the fabric of time and space. Perhaps when we look at our sky and we see the sky tearing, like holes are forming in the sky, rips are forming in the sky. Rips are called farj. فَإِذَا السَّمَاءُ فُرِجَتْ. There's maybe a connection to إِذَا النُّجُومُ طُمِسَتْ إِذَا السَّمَاءُ فُرِجَتْ. Because sama for us is the closest thing to us, but nujum are actually much further away, right? And so from our visual perspective, it'll feel like if the sky felt like a sheet that has no cracks. هَلْ تَرَى مِنْ فُطُورٍ. On that day, it'll feel like the sheet is ripped. There's like these burnt holes in it, and something's happening in the sky that we've never seen before. There's something about the word fa also. Ibn Ashur mentions, بُيِّنَ لَهُمْ مَا يَحْصُلُ قَبْلَهُ وَزِيَادَةً فِي تَهْوِيلِهِ عَلَيْهِمْ. It's as if the word fa almost brings it immediately, like as if it's about to happen just now. Don't act like it's going to happen sometime way in the future. Think of it as if it is happening right in this moment. The repetition of إِذَا. إِذَا النُّجُومُ طُمِسَتْ وَالسَّمَاءُ فُرِجَتْ وَالْجِبَالُ نُسِفَتْ. Nope. فَإِذَا النُّجُومُ طُمِسَتْ وَإِذَا السَّمَاءُ وَإِذَا الْجِبَالُ وَإِذَا الرُّسُلُ. إِذَا, as if to say each one of them deserves its own attention. Every one of those is a major event. Every one of them is its own story. The word farj is used when you have a crack in the door or when you have a gap in the prayer. Farj salah is actually when there's, some people, they like their social distancing even after COVID in salah. Some people are too close. You notice that? Some people are just too close. And sometimes I'm praying, I can't even stand straight. The guy he keeps leaning in. I'm like the Leaning Tower of Pisa making salah. Like, and some people are like way out there. That's a farj in the salah. Farj al-wad, the opening in a valley. Farj al-jabal, meaning a cave, an opening. So the word furijat means tears and openings. And this is the word that's being used to describe the sky. The sky we think of as an open vacuum, but when physics no longer works the way that we are used to seeing it work, we're going to see something in the sky we've never seen before. And these tears, there's a difference between fath and farj. So in this surah you see, إِذَا السَّمَاءُ فُرِجَتْ. In the next surah you're going to see, وَفُتِحَتِ السَّمَاء, right? فَكَانَتْ أَبْوَابًا, as if they're doors. There's a difference. Farjul bab is when you break through the door. You ever seen because you guys don't watch movies, so they have SWAT teams, they have that baton, that metal thing, and they come and they ram the door, right? They're doing farj of the door when they break the lock. They're breaking through. That's farj. But if you open the door, that's what? Fath. So furijat is-sama, or if the sama furijat is more violent. And futihat is-sama is more formal. I would argue, Allahu A'lam, the first phase is in this surah. The explosions, the tearing of the sky. That's in this surah. In the next surah, there's order. after the bombs and the destruction of the stars and all the chaos and all that stuff, what's going to happen? Angels are going to come down. The heavenly order is descending. And they will now open the door, open the skies like doors are being opened to let the conquering army enter the city. Right? So, وَالْمَلَكُ عَلَىٰ أَرْجَائِهَا, for example, in the Quran. That the throne of the king is being brought for judgment. And the angel, يَحْمِلُ عَرْشَ رَبِّكَ فَوْقَهُمْ يَوْمَئِذٍ ثَمَانِيَةٌ. Right? The 8 angels or 8 legions of angels or 8 battalions of angels are carrying this throne down for judgment to begin, and by that time order has been brought. So there's episodes on Judgment Day. There's an episode of chaos that's being described in this surah. Then there's the episode of order that's being described in the next surah. Anyway, so that's a little bit about farj and fath that I think is worthy of notice. Yeah, I already talked about that. Okay. وَإِذَا الْجِبَالُ نُسِفَتْ. And the same thing, إِذَا نُسِفَتِ الْجِبَالُ نُسِفَتْ. It's the same reading. When mountains, they're going to experience nasf. So what's nasf? Nasf is, burnt rock that gets these little tiny holes in it and these kind of pockets in it that you might find near, volcanic ash or sometimes near some beaches and things like that. They're called nisfa. Okay? And naqatun nasuf tansifu turab fi adwiha, when a camel rips out the soil by the way that it's putting its feet down, that's called a naqa, that's nasuf, meaning a camel that's nasuf. Nasafat al-rih al-turab an wajh al-ard, when the wind blows it's almost like the wind was digging the soil. Because the way the wind was moving, it was plucking the soil up. It's doing nasf. It's ripping something out. In Texas, in our Bayyinah campus, there was on the rooftop. I wanted to build some kind of a cover. So because it's so hot in Texas, if you ever want to do something on the rooftop, then you can't. So I wanted to put something up there, and the structural engineer said you can't do it. I was like, it's the 4th floor. You could do it. What's the problem? Because you don't understand the winds in Texas. Doesn't matter how hard we bolt it down, nail it, concrete it, it's gonna rip right through. The winds get underneath it and just pick it up. Even if it's a concrete structure, a wooden structure, a metal structure, it's going to tear right through it, right? So that's what the nasfur riyah means. It's qala', actually, it's pulling something out. So nasaf al-ba'ir al-kala iqtala'ahu bi aslihi, when animals eat grass and they don't bite it off, they bite it enough to pull it out of the ground. That's actually when the animals are doing nasf. نصف الطعام غربله. Anybody know what a ghirbal is? A ghirbal is like the thing, right? The thing. Okay. The thing is, there's this thing, it's got these holes in it, and you put rice in it, and then the pebbles come down, and the rice stays on top, and you sift. It's a sifter, right? That's called a ghirbal. What do you guys call it? A siever? Sieve, yeah, one of those things. The thing. I call it the thing. Okay. So because it's pulling things out, the impurities out, that's actually why it's called a minsafa. That term is minsafa. Okay. So a nisfa, these are all the examples I already gave you. So the word nusifat al-jibalu nusifat actually means that the mountains are going to be plucked out. Like something is so strong that it's even pulling the mountains out. This takes us back to the imagery of the winds. When winds are strong enough, they can pull trees out of the ground. Right? So that's a phenomenon we're familiar with. And when winds are strong enough, they can blow homes away, pull them out of the ground and lift them away. Right? Judgment Day is coming. Something is going to happen that's even so much stronger than the winds that even mountains are going to get plucked out. And then the mountains are going to start moving. Suyiratil jibal. They're going to start moving around like they're nothing, like they're rolling around. Fakanat saraba, as if they're a mirage. Like, why are they moving? Well, for the mountains to move in the next surah, وَسُيِّرَتِ الْجِبَالُ فَكَانَتْ سَرَابًا, in the next surah, for mountains to move, they can't be settled. So this surah tells you they're taken out, they're uprooted, and the next surah tells you they're moving. So you see how there's a continuity between the two, right? By the way, in the Quran, another place in the Quran, يَسْأَلُونَكَ عَنِ الْجِبَالِ فَقُلْ يَنْسِفُهَا رَبِّي نَسْفًا. Allah will make them move. Then, after He makes them move, دُكَّتِ الْأَرْضُ دَكًّا دَكَّا. They're going to be uprooted, then beat down, then crushed. So there's multiple events happening on Judgment Day, and we're just getting to the beginning of it. The question is, why are these ayat in the passive form so far? Meaning, Allah says, when the stars are smudged. Allah didn't say who smudges them. When the skies are ripped, not who rips them. When the mountains are plucked, not who plucks them. It's as if Allah is continuing the mystery that started. Because the threat that was given, إِنَّمَا تُوعَدُونَ لَوَاقِعٌ, the threat that was given, you need to know who's the one threatening me. Allah didn't mention the doer. You're being threatened. By who? And then that by who continues, the stars are being smudged. By who? The sky is being ripped open. By who? The mountains are being plucked. By who? He won't say it. He won't mention it. There could be a couple of rhetorical reasons. One reason is Allah is keeping the mystery alive because He wants you to arrive at that conclusion yourself. Who could do such a thing? Who would do something like that? And the answer gets, by the time you reach these things, the only answer to that who left is Allah. Who's going to rip mountains open? Who's going to tear the skies open? Who's going to do that? Hey guys, you just watched a small clip of me explaining the Quran in depth as part of the Deeper Look series. Studying the Quran in depth can seem like a really intimidating thing that's only meant for scholars. Our job at Bayyinah is to make deeper study of the Quran accessible and easy for all of you. So take us up on that challenge. Join us for this study, the Deeper Look of the Quran, for this surah and many other surahs on BayyinahTV.com under the Deeper Look section.